Hey y'all, Mr. Murray here, and I am going to take you step by step to do this week's final assignment. You should have this Google Slides file, which you are going to make your own. There's 6 slides, and the instructions on how to do each slide are right there. So let's get cracking. All right, first part of the first slide right here is pretty straightforward. Put in your name, put in your teacher, put in your class period, and put in your country. Your country is the one that you picked last week, and then you had to use in an assignment later on last week. Whatever country you picked then, that's the one you're rolling with now. So for me, when I do some of this as an example, I'm using the United States because that's the country I picked, even though you guys weren't supposed to do that. The only other thing you have to do on this first page is right here. It says, delete this picture and replace it with a picture representing your country. This could be a lot of stuff. You could do the flag of your country, a map of your country, pictures of people from your country. It could be, just about anything as long as it's school appropriate. I'll at least start out with an American flag. So I'll open a new tab and I will search for United States flag. And I'm going to get a bunch of results. If I click images here, I'll be able to see all sorts of pictures. I can look and I think I like this one. So if you don't know how to take an image from your computer screen and then, kind of paste it into slides, look carefully. I'm going to right click. That gives me this menu. Copy image. As soon as you click that, your computer has now got that picture kind of in its memory. And if I go back to my Google Slide file and I click Control V, V for Victor, that pastes that picture in. Now, this is much too big. It's covering everything. So I'm going to grab a corner and resize it. And while I do, I'm going to hold down Shift because that will keep it in the same proportions and not let it get all squished. So get rid of this. Bye-bye. All right. Maybe make you a little bit bigger here. That's pretty good, but I don't like this white space. So I'm going to put in another picture. You can always do more if you want to. So besides just looking for the United States flag, I'm going to find a United States map and use that. Yeah. I don't know. I like the pastels here. I'll go with this one. So once again, I right click, copy image, and then back in my Google Slides file, Control V, pastes it in. And hey, that's just about the right size to begin with. We make you a little bigger. Line it up. Cool. And I'm pretty happy with that. Now, let me take this opportunity to tell you, you can absolutely do more on this. For example, if you wanted to change the background up so it looked cooler and better, if you wanted to add in, like, do stuff in cool, interesting fonts, there is a minimum picture requirement, but if you want to add in extra pictures, guys, more is always great as long as it's school appropriate and as long as I'm going to be able to read everything. And of course, you're actually doing the what's required as well. So that was our title screen. Let's go on. All of the other slides are going to be for the 5 themes of geography that we're practicing. I've already titled the slides for you, broken them into sections, and included instructions for each one. So we're going through in Mr. Help order. We start with movement. For movement of people, it says, use this link and find your country on the list, then replace this text, meaning basically the instructions right here, with the number of migrants your country receives per 1,000 people. Make sure to explain if that means more people are moving to your country or away from your country. That may not have made sense right off the bat, but if you look at this, it's pretty easy. So I'm going to click on this link, and it will take me to this big long list of every country. Now, just looking at the page, I don't see the United States here. If you don't know how to find a certain word or phrase in a page, learn now. This is amazing. I'm going to hit Control F. That brings up this little menu. Now I'm looking for the United. It's guessing I mean the United Arab Emirates, but that's not what I want. So space States. See, before I even finished typing it in, it found what I was looking for. Here we are, 37th on the list. This number here is what I need, 3.00. That means for every 1,000 people we have in the United States, there are 3 additional people that move to the United States. So for me, I could, and look here, there's a reminder making sure you remember to delete everything. Now that I know that, I can just delete this and say, don't underline, the United States, 3 immigrants for every 1,000 people. And you don't have to use those words exactly. The um these you may have noticed it was asking you about make sure you explain whether that means people are moving to or from your country. In the United States' case, people are moving to the United States. But if we go down the list is in order, then we start getting into negative numbers. See all the way at the bottom, a lot of countries have a lot of people leaving. What that means more people leave the country than move to the country. In some cases, for some of your countries, the number might well be 0. That doesn't mean people never move there. It means there's about an even number of people who move to there and move away from there. So, that's the information you're going to include on movement of people. For movement of goods, it's once again, it gives us a link. Use this link and find your country on the list. Hey, we know how to do that. Then replace this text with the total value of all the exports that your country sends out to the, hey, this is supposed to say world. I'll fix that right now. To the world. An export is all the goods that one country sends out and sells in other countries. So once again, we got a great big master list. Once again, you may need to search for your country. I will search for United. Oh, hey, we're near the very top of the list. So the estimated amount here, the United States in total exports more than $1.5 trillion worth of stuff. I don't even, and if I want to, I can go ahead and highlight it. I'm hitting Control C on my keyboard, and that's going to let me just paste that in right here. So, United States exports about. Now I can just paste in Control V. You know what? You see how the text is small and weird looking? That's because it copied the way it was on the other page. I don't like that. I'm going to hit Control Shift V, and now it will copy in the same size and the same font. Sweet. Worth of stuff each, hopefully I can type, each year. Sweet. Now notice I've got a lot of white space here. You may have noticed this warning up here. Make sure you've added at least one picture to this slide. I could put in a picture of some people from the United States or some of the things that we sell to other countries right here. I'm going to have to do at least one per slide, and in some cases more than that, because sometimes the instructions tell me to do more. And here, movement of ideas. Let's actually move some ideas. Click on Insert Video in Google Slides. That's right up here. Insert Video. And it will let me search on YouTube here. I bet you guys have done this before. Yeah, there's a picture showing you how to do it. Whoops, excuse me. And search for a YouTube video that teaches you about your country and insert it here. So if I wanted to, I could search for United States, I don't know, information maybe. Here's a whole bunch of videos I can include about the United States. I can go through and find one that looks interesting. Make sure whatever you include is school appropriate. It is your responsibility to check out the video and make sure it's something that won't get you or me in trouble. But If I like this one, USA in 5 minutes, learn about the United States of America quickly, all I would do is hit select, and it's just like a picture. I can then, kind of move it over here and resize it so that it fits into this area. I should also delete all of this text right here. Bye bye. And this picture, I don't need it. Now, notice I'm actually not done. I need to include at least one picture, and I haven't done that yet. I've already shown you guys how to copy a picture in, so I'm going to leave it up to you and your imagination to find things. I could absolutely do two, and to me, it seems like this slide would look a lot better if I did a picture for each one. But you don't want to watch me for forever, so let's keep going. Region. Okay. For region human characteristics, it says, okay, uh, I'm going to give you, once again, there's a typo here. Yay, I'm catching all my typos. I'm going to give you less hand holding here. Using the internet, learn something about the people who live in your country, then tell me about it here. You could find out what language or languages the people there speak, what religions the people there follow, what holidays they celebrate, what sports they play. Man, it could be anything. You could learn about the TV shows and the movies they make there. You could learn about what video games people play. You could learn about, seriously, anything as long as it's about the people there. Do not just write one boring sentence. Do not be the people there are old and turn that in and expect to get full credit. You guys are in middle school. Find something cool and interesting and be able to tell me at least a couple of sentences about it. All right. For physical characteristics, this one's pretty straightforward. Click on this link and find your country on the list. Then use the information there to show what percentage of your country is covered with trees, etc. Okay. This link is something Mr. Murray created. It is a spreadsheet showing for every country in the world what percentage of it is covered by trees, by grass, by wetlands, and so on. So it's in alphabetical order. So for me, the United States, I've got to scroll way down here. But right here, the United States, the first column is for tree cover. It's 31.6. So over here, I can type in 31.6 and so on down the list. These come in the same order that they show up in that thing. So we can see, hey, a pretty big percent, nearly a third of the United States is covered in trees. Though admittedly, a lot of that's Alaska, because Alaska's got a whole bunch of tree cover and it's pretty big. So yeah, just fill out all of this and you're done there. Again, make sure you include at least one picture. This reminder will be on every slide. It says include at least one picture. Once you have, you can delete this reminder. So I would put it in my human characteristics thing over there, something I learned about the people. Human environment interaction. For dependency, look up a food that people in your country eat and explain it here with pictures if possible. One good place to start is by Googling your country's name and then the word cuisine. The cuisine basically means like a type of food, and you can type in pretty much any country. Like, shoot, I'll do Moldova cuisine, and I'll be like this first hit would tell me all about lots of different type of food that people eat in Moldova. All I would have to do is just pick one thing and talk about that a little bit. For adaptation, find a picture of people from your country, any people, as long as they are in that country. Post that picture here and in your own words, write a description of the clothing they are wearing. So if you've got a cold country, people are probably going to wear some sort of heavy coats. If you've got a country in the desert, people will probably have their clothing will probably be suitable to the desert. I want you to look for that and see as you add to the section. For modification, find a picture of any human-made structure. It could be a building, a bridge, a road, basically any structure made by people that's in your country and put it here. That's it. You don't even need to write anything down on this one. Just the picture is good enough here. Okay, location. You've basically already done this. So if you remember your answers, you might kind of be set. Absolute location. Find the latitude and longitude coordinates of your country and put them here. You already did this last week, so it should be easy. If you've forgotten, just Google your country's name, then lat long, or you could do latitude, longitude would also work. So for me, if I look up United States lat long, then Google is very happy to tell me the latitude and longitude of the United States right there. And that is its absolute location. So, boom. For relative location, find your country on a map, then describe your country's relative location. So, for example, you could do, my country is just south of Canada. That would work for me because that's where the United States is. Or, my country is in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. That wouldn't apply to me, but it might apply to some of you guys. Don't forget, also include a picture here. It could be just a map of your country showing where it is in the world. That would be fine, but make sure you're doing at least one picture per slide. Final slide, place for human features. Now remember, a place is a more specific spot than just the whole country. So for human features, the specific spot I'm going to have you use is I want you to figure out what the largest city in your country is. You'll do that by clicking here. So click on this link, and you have a great big long list of all the countries listing out what the largest city in that country is. It's in alphabetical order, or you could search through it. For me, the largest city in the United States is New York City. Now, if I remember right, it says in this box, put the name of that city, the city's population, meaning how many people live in the city, and include at least one picture of that city. I could actually do that without searching it up on my own. If I click New York City right here, well, first of all, here's a bunch of pictures. I could use any of them if I wanted to. And if I scroll down a bit, I am positive, yeah, there will almost certainly be a box that has the population. So feel free to use either the official total, or they might have an estimate because they don't recount the number of people every single day. Either one is fine. So for New York, I would probably go ahead and use the official total of, it's more than 8 million. That's pretty big. And then I would type out New York City. I would put its population, and I would have at least one picture. Finally, an easy one. For natural features, find a picture of any natural feature from your country. This could be a picture of mountains, the coast, like beaches, a lake, a forest, a desert, anything at all, as long as it's not like a human created thing. Now, it's okay if there's a little bit of human stuff in there. If there's happens to be a person in the picture, especially if they're sort of off to the side and the main picture is the natural thing, or like I have a picture I like using in classroom later in the year that has like a huge, vast desert, and there's a little bitty car driving through. That's fine. But the dominant part of the picture should be that natural feature from your country. And that's it. You don't have to include an explanation or anything like that. This one, picture only is fine. So you have several days to be working on this. I'm assigning this on Thursday. It's not due till Sunday. And I'm not really planning on giving you a big, meaningful chunk of work on Friday. So you have all of your social studies Thursday time, all of Friday, and then if you need it, you have the weekend to finish it up. If you have any questions, please contact me. And as always, stay safe and stay healthy.